What's up? What's up? It's your boy Corey B. So today we're going to talk about feelings. Okay, so look, investing is an emotional thing. It's not. It's not at all emotional. It's tangible. And it's a weird thing to wrap your head around because ultimately, a lot of times, the thing you're investing in may not be something that you can put your hands on. You may be investing in a company, corporation that's far away. You may be investing in the stock market. You may be investing in crypto. You may be trading on currency, all these different things. Ultimately, the money that you are investing is tangible. The money that you're investing, you can put your hands on. That's the concept, okay? It's something... It's unemotional. It can't be. It can't be emotional. Okay, so it takes time to get yourself to a level where you're a disciplined, seasoned investor. That some people it takes a lifetime to get there. Some people never get there. It's hard to take the things that you're investing into and take your emotions out of the equation, but that's what you got to do. And you got to know the time to draw those lines and step back from a situation. Now, ultimately, some people may take this the wrong way, and so I want to clear that up because I've talked to people about this before and I've posted things online, and people have kind of taken it as in I'm saying the only thing that matters is money, and like we compromise our values for money, and that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying that your emotions shouldn't get in the way of money. Your emotions shouldn't hinder your money. But if there's a company or if there's an investment opportunity or a particular real estate property and the person who owns it, you have a conflict with their moral character, or you have a conflict with what they're planning to do with your investment, even though you could buy the real estate and you could make money on it, but ultimately they're going to make that profit that you just gave them on the property, and they're going to turn around and fund something that you don't believe in, that you don't agree with. I'm not telling you to compromise your character and compromise your beliefs just to make money. That's absolutely not at all what I'm saying. That's wrong. I don't agree with that. Now, some people will say, hey, when it comes down to it, it's black and white. It's money. It's black and white. It's green. If it's green, it spins. If it's not, then it don't. And that's what it comes down to. It's real simple. But to me, I say absolutely don't compromise your values. Don't compromise yourself. Don't feed into a beast that you don't believe in. There's always going to be more investment opportunities out there. There's going to be more properties that you can buy into. There's going to be more stocks or companies that you can partner with or invest into, more people that you can partner with. There's going to always be, I promise you, I assure you, there are absolutely endless opportunities for investments. There are. It's just a matter of, now, of course, some people, it's like, oh, if I could have only gotten into Apple way back when, if I could have only gotten into Colgate, or if I could have only got, it's like there's so many different weird companies that at the time, some of them didn't seem like great investments. But when you look at them today, you're like, man, if only I would have known then what I know now. Yeah, but there's more companies growing now that will be worth something later. So there's always more opportunities, and there's opportunities for you to invest in different, and people, especially over the last couple of years, there's this weird dynamic of people, because people are seeing, it's almost like polarizing when it comes to real estate, because there's so many people who are like they're like, oh man, like you're just not seeing it. There's so many opportunities because you can get in over here and you can get in over there, and there's just so many things that you can do. And while other people are like, well, it's just all a crapshoot, man. We can't get into real estate. We missed our opportunity. Everything's too expensive. Everything's on the rise. There's inflation everywhere. The property taxes are going up. Real estate's going up everywhere. What are we going to do? We missed a chance to get into real estate. And let me tell you, it's more the first one than the second one. There is inflation. Inflation's not always bad, but that's another topic. That's another conversation. That's another video, so y'all stay tuned. We'll talk about inflation. But there is inflation, and there's property taxes that are skyrocketing all over the place, and there's more and more properties that have been bought up. There's been more and more commercial properties that have been bought up that they're breaking apart into smaller pieces. There's been residential properties that have been bought up, and they're breaking them into smaller pieces because that's how they're making their money. It's happening all over the place, and the reality is it's not done. Some people think it's done, but it's not done. We as humans on Earth, have but a small fraction of the land that we're using. The earth is not overpopulated, although some people would disagree and tell you otherwise. The world is not the world is densely populated. That means everybody's living in this spot, in this spot, in this spot, in this spot. Everybody's living in small spots. There's these cities throughout our country. And this isn't just all over the world. All over the world, I'm telling you, there's definitely not an issue. But we're talking about just the United States. Just the United States. In just the United States alone, there's several cities that are way, way densely populated and borderline overpopulation in very small amount of certain cities. But that's a small, incredibly small fraction of this country. There's places all over the place that you drive, and you will drive and drive and drive for hours and see nothing. Oh my gosh, I just saw a house. Where do those people even work? Where do those people even buy anything? Where do those people even, how do they even get their mail? We haven't seen anything in 2 hours. It's strange. It is. But this is a thing that's real. And if you drive, as I've done, driving across this country, with my traveling, as Kimberly, we went from Texas all the way to Oregon. Man, you can't even count how many places that I saw properties for sale. Like 40 acres, 100 acres, 60 acres, 20 acres, 10 acres, 130 acres, 240 acres. It was ridiculous. And that was just on the one path from Texas to Oregon. There was multiple different paths I could have taken to get from Texas to Oregon. Okay, so now that we've covered the basis that there is plenty of real estate still available. Look, there's always going to be opportunities. So I'm not telling you invest in something you don't believe in. I'm not going to say give your money to someone that you don't support, or you think that they're going to use that money to do something that you otherwise disagree with. Now, ultimately, yes, when you're going to do a business deal, when you're going to do a real estate deal, when you're going to buy a property or buy a company or invest in a company, you don't always know this person's religious, political, just social, economic. You don't know all that stuff about that person. You know, a lot of times, one simple thing. You know what the business is doing, what they're planning to do, where their business is going, what their business is valued at, what their business should be all about. And you may know, if it's particular real estate, you may know, like I said, you only know a small amount of things. But if you happen to know something that conflicts with your moral character, absolutely don't buy in. There's other opportunities out there. Now, with that being said, what I mean, my biggest point here as a trader, as an investor, I've been an investor for a good while now. I've been primarily specialized in stock market. I understand the stock market. It makes sense. I enjoy it. I get excited about it. It's really cool to me. To a lot of people, not so much. Okay, now something that I've been developing my skills, started learning about it a couple of years ago from one of my incredibly brilliant partners, and been growing and developing my skill as of lately is swing trading and doing Forex and basically investing and exchange of currency. And it's something that's a completely different wheelhouse than when it comes to the stock market. Now, what I want to tell you is whether it be the stock market or whether it be Forex or whether it be swing trading or you're investing in indexes or anything, your emotions need to be out of the equation. Now, that again, that doesn't mean invest into a company that you don't believe in. It doesn't mean that if you know, hey, I do not support the CEO of Colgate, or I don't support the CEO of Coke, or whatever, or Ford. It's like, it doesn't matter. If you don't believe in their ideas, don't buy into it. There is plenty of other companies to invest in. There's plenty of other currencies to swing, or to trade. There's plenty of other things that you can put your money where a place you believe in. But, and I say this, your emotions need to be out. Now, let me give you a good example. Okay. 2 weeks ago, I had a little bit of emotionally, okay? Emotionally, I had a little bit of a rough week. It was the anniversary of when my mom passed. And every year, it seems to hit me in a different way, okay? It hit me, and that was Friday. That was Friday on our Forex accounts with the hedge fund that we're operating with. We start trading, normally Sunday evenings, Sunday nights is when we start trading, because based on the way that the markets that open offshore, when markets open, when the European markets open and things like that. Okay, so based on that, like I said, Friday was an emotional night, right? And then Saturday, our family dog of 15 years passed away. And that was emotional, and traumatic, difficult, and challenging for me and Kimberly and the boys. It was just a difficult time, And I still, on Sunday evening, I made a mistake. On Sunday evening, I was like, you know what? Right now, I got way too much on my head. I've got too many emotional things. I was like, and Kimberly actually had to work that Sunday night. So I stayed up. I don't even think I slept that night. I stayed up pretty much all night, and I decided, you know what? I've got to stay busy. I've got to stay doing something, because I got all these things on my heart, on my head, and just things going on. And so I was like, yep, busted out the laptop. I was like, let's start the week off. Let's kick it off. Like, well, I gotta have some good news, right? And I made some good trades. I made some other ones that were not so good. My partner hit me up on Monday. He's like, man, he's like, are you sure you're doing okay? And I was like, yeah, man, I think so. I got this, right? I was in my own head. I was like, I've got to be okay, right? Because I was like, I can't allow these things to phase me, because if I sit down, then I'm going to feel a type of way, right? So ultimately, my way of compensating for my emotions was like, I got to win. I got to get out there and do something else, And so when I had these things happening, right, and I had these things going through my head and on my heart and stuff, and my boy hit me up again. He was like, hey man, I got you. I got your back. And we're partners, man. We invest in a lot of things together. And he was like, you know what? He's like, I'm never gonna tell you what to do. He has a huge amount of respect for me, and I got a huge amount of respect for him. And he's like, I'm not gonna tell you what to do. I'm not gonna tell you what you should do, how you should handle it, but I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you, I respect if you need to take a step back. Because if you wanna take a step back, it's better that you take a step back, clear your head, and get back in the game than continuing to try to make trades and make moves when you got money on the line, man. You might make a move that may appear to be a good move, may seem like a good move, but in your head's not in the right place. Your head's not even thinking clearly right now. So maybe it's time to just, but again, he was like, we're cool, bro. He's like, I got you, man. You want to handle your business? You want to keep trading? He's like, I got you. I support you. I know you can handle this if you think you can handle this. But same for him. Like, there's a certain time of year that it becomes kind of emotional. And he's like, this week, I'm off, man. Not doing it this week, And I was telling a good friend of mine, Valerie, I was telling her about this because I had to call her and let her know, that week, because she was real close. She's always been real close with our family. She's been real close with our dog. She actually took care of our dog for a few months when we first hit the road. She took care of her, right? And so I had to let her know that, our old little girl was, she didn't make it, right? And when I called her, she started asking, about how I was doing and how we were all processing things, and me and her talk about work, we talk about stuff, And so I was sharing with her these things, and, she pointed out something to me that, it's like I knew it already, but when somebody on the outside saw it and said it, she was like, you better keep your hands on your boy, your partner, man, because most partners don't care. Most partners aren't going to do that for you. Most partners aren't going to be like, hey, man, I think you're emotional. I can handle things from here. How about you take a step back and just take the time you need to handle your emotions so that way you get back in the game clear-headed. Not every partner is going to do that. Some of them are going to be like, man up and let's do this. it's business, right? It's business. We're about making money. We're about progress. We're about, growing. But sometimes in order to actually grow, in order to actually be successful, you've got to take that moment for, self-care, man, for emotional rest, right? For psychological rest, for that peace. So that way you can get in the game and you can invest and you can trade and you can make moves without your head and your heart messing it all up and gumming up the works and getting you all where you can't see clearly. Thankfully, my week didn't turn out the way I wanted it to that week. It wasn't detrimental, but it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. And it's because I tried to force it at first. I tried to force it, There was moments where I tried to force things, and there was moments that I finally decided to step back, but I probably should have, and I probably could have. I definitely could have, but I probably should have stepped back a moment sooner. So what I want the clear message to be right here is don't let your emotions get in the way. If you're feeling a type of way about life, about whatever, take a moment, step back, clear this all up, get everything that's happening up here, everything that's happening here, clear it all up, and then get back in the game. Get back in the game. I appreciated my homeboy for having my back like that. And I appreciated Valerie for telling me and speaking into my ear and being like, he's a good one. He's a real one. Don't let him slip away. You don't get partners like that too often who are going to tell you, hey, take a minute. And it's true. We don't often get partners like that. So I want you to take two things away from this. Two things. First and foremost, know yourself and know your emotions. And when you need a minute, take that minute. But secondly, we need more partners like my homeboy Z. We need more partners like, Garrett and me that are going to tell our partner and say, hey, I see you're dealing with something. I see you processing things. So process it and handle it. Take the time to do that. Take the time to heal and grow and move past that so that way we can get back to business. Because if you try to come back into business and you got all this emotional baggage going up the works, this psychological trauma and stuff, then you're not going to make the moves clearly. You're not going to progress us all to the place. And you're going to end up, even if you make good, smart trades, even if you make good, smart business decisions, even if you make great investments while feeling this trauma, while feeling this psychological weight on your shoulders, while feeling all this emotional tension in your chest and in your body, even if you can fight through all of that and make good decisions, you're going to cause yourself longer lasting stress that you don't need. You don't need all that. So it's better to take the time and heal and then get back in the game. When you got kids and stuff, when you got family, obviously, sometimes you just got to man up, so to speak, and you got to make your money and take care of your family. You got responsibilities. But sometimes it's okay to take a day. Sometimes it's okay to take a week. Sometimes you just need a day or two. Whatever it is. But sometimes you just need to emotionally process things. It's not often. But when it comes to things like a loss of, family pet, it's been there for your whole life, or their whole life, or the loss of a family member, your mom, your dad. We're human. So the most disciplined and skilled, seasoned investors are human. So we're going to make mistakes. We're going to push the envelope. We're going to try to force ourselves into a situation ultimately we shouldn't be in. And like I said, sometimes that's when you need a strong partner who's going to tell you it's okay to take a step back. So if you're a partner, look out for your partners. They need you. Because sometimes they might get in their own way. And if you're sole proprietor, man, sometimes you just got to know yourself enough that you can take a second and heal and process things. Like I said, don't get into your investments with emotion. Money doesn't have emotions. Money doesn't operate that way. As I said in the previous post, money is a tool, and is one of the most incredible tools that will ever help you to level up and excel to the next spot you want in life, but only if utilized in proper, skilled, trained, educated hands. If you're emotional hands, you're going to gum it up. All right. Y'all give your boy some love. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Ding that bell. Get your notifications. Y'all stay tuned. Your boy's got some more coming at you. We're going to keep things flowing, man. We're going to keep things moving. And we're going to keep, trying to open up dialogue about things that not enough people are talking about. But ultimately, these are the things that might change your business or change your life. All right. Till next time, it's your boy Corey B. And I'm out.